Hi, Rob. My name's Holly. I'm going to be the therapist working with you today. So, can you tell me a little bit why you're here?
Well, I'm here because I've been addicted to alcohol for a lot of my life, and it's really put a strain on kind of my job and my relationships throughout the years, and it's been a really tough time at going. Some days I just can't get out of bed, and I'm just stuck in bed, and I can't get that motivation to be able to put down the bottle and be able to kind of get down with my day.
Okay, and is this a recent revelation for you to admitting that you're addicted to alcohol?
Yeah, it's a recent revelation because I was picked up a couple weeks ago for being intoxicated in public and being thrown into a cop vehicle and being brought to the drunk tank and being given a fine and everything for it.
Okay, and I see here that you wrote down that your mother and father have an alcohol abuse history.
Yeah, it's been a long time since they've been addicted. It's been all my childhood they've been addicted, and I believe it really fell on to me, and it really kind of, when they were drinking, I would like sneak beers off to my bedroom and stuff. So
Yeah, that sounds really, really hard to kind of deal with. I also see here that you reported having some physical abuse in your history and also some violence in the home. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
yeah, my parents would get in fights, and mostly the abuse came a lot from my mom and stuff because she was just very abusive because she didn't like my father, and she was very abusive to my father, and that's why I have like my dad as contact for my emergency because I recently got in contact with him, and we've been trying to kind of remend fences and stuff, and I'm trying to get some help for everything. So
Okay. So what are your goals for this?
So what I'd like to do is to seek some treatments that I could go and like, if there's any possible of like getting to know a bunch of like alcohol anonymous places and being able to kind of get those
Yep.
outside treatments, and also a lot of the abuse from my childhood.
Yep, I see here that you don't have any mental health treatment history, you don't have any counseling history, anything like that. I think it would be really important for you to feel supported through this, and we can definitely work to set you up with some support groups. Alcohol's Anonymous is pretty well known. There's
Yeah.
a few other more slight variations of it.
Yeah,
in the
because I'm
area.
not very religious, so
Okay.
anything that doesn't overly do on religion would be
Okay.
a better for me.
Okay, we can work on that. And I guess my next question is how often are you drinking right now?
Um, right now, I'm still drinking quite a bit. I'm kind of hungover right now. I'm not too good. I've been still drinking I pick up about a 12 pack every single, like, 2 days. I'll pick up one and I'll have 6 beers normally a day, and
Okay.
so it's kind of financially been hurting me, and
Yeah, I'm
physically.
looking here in some of your stuff. And I'm wondering, you don't have a job currently, correct?
No, I don't have a job because
Okay.
I was intoxicated also when I was on the job, and I was fired.
How long have you been unemployed?
I've been unemployed for about 3 months now.
Okay. Have you taken any actions to find a new job, or are you just kind
No, it's
Okay.
really been tough and stuff, and
of... Okay.
so.
Do you currently have a place to live?
I'm currently living on one of my like friends' couches, just kind of a little bit of homeless, but not. At least I got some friends that are helping me right now. And
What does your, in terms of getting food, and clothing, and with the weather being so cold, your access to money, what's the money situation looking like for you?
Not really good. I've applied for food stamps and been kind of denied. And right now, I'm going to like local food pantries and trying to get myself sobered up before I go.
Okay.
And being able to do that, but it's just not much per month. I only get so much food, and then
Right.
I have to ask like friends and family to kind of help me out.
Okay.
And I'm kind of burning bridges while doing that because I've been asking so much.
Right. I think that there's a lot that we can do to help you get to a place where you feel successful. And that success is going to have a lot to do with you and the support that you utilize. So, some of the things that, come into my mind are those basic needs that need to be met. Having food to eat, having clothes to wear, and having a place to live. If you don't have those, it's going to be really hard to feel supported going through this process. So I can work with you to see about the food stamp situation, see if, reapplying and where you've gone a little bit longer without employment, see how that works. We can also take a look with the unemployment office, see what's documented as your reason for leaving, and see if there's any way we can get you some unemployment. I think making sure that you have some resources to homeless shelters, to kitchens, food pantries, like you mentioned, is really good. And we can definitely talk in more detail about that. And then, obviously, the main reason that you're saying you're here is for the alcoholism. What we can do with that is I can get you set up with some community resources that have meetings. We can also plan to meet for sessions regarding alcohol and sort of your history with that. And so typically we have drug and alcohol counselors and then separate for mental health stuff. And so what we're probably going to want to do is I can deal with the drug and alcohol stuff, and my specialty isn't with other mental health disorders. However, I can refer you to someone else to just kind of check in with. And it's not to say you can't talk about other things than alcohol in our sessions, but I just might need to redirect you somewhere else. You say that you're feeling like you're hungover today, and so I think we really need to get your head cleared before we can really do a lot of intense work. And so I think, right now you're coherent, you're talking. We're not in a state necessarily right now where we probably would want you to be hospitalized. It does concern me that you feel like you can't get out of bed and those sorts of things. So I would like to make sure that our counseling sessions are fairly frequent so that we can just keep an eye on that. One thing to keep in mind when we have our sessions is that anything you say is confidential information. If you do tell me something about hurting yourself or hurting someone else, I'm a mandated reporter, so I will have to report that to necessary people. And so when you go to disclose information, you don't have to tell me everything. If you feel like that's something that you don't want to share, that's fine. But we do want to have as open communication as we can.
Yeah.
Does that sound good?
That sounds really good, Miss Helgen.
Okay. Well, let's think about some things that we can kind of get this show on the road here. Because it sounds like you need the support pretty immediately. And we can do, basically, what we'll do through our organization is a treatment plan. And that is you and I working together to create goals. These are goals that you want to do, and ideas coming from you and not from me. So, I mean, I can give you names of resources, of things you might want to do, and give suggestions, but at the end of the day, it's your treatment plan.
Alright.
So, if we can start with just kind of a very basic couple of goals to work toward that are doable within the next, I would say, 30 days. And then we can reassess and kind of switch those out.
So, I'd really like to start getting in contact with more AA groups for a goal. My job, really, I need to get a new job.
Okay.
So maybe really applying and getting maybe some applications really filled out, and maybe some interviews with that goal. And then pretty much just getting into contact with some food sources so I'm able to eat.
Okay, so my first thought with the employment, which is awesome that you said you need to get work, you want to get work, good. We have a career center right here in town, and it's within walking distance of here. So it's a resource that could help you build a resume, get some references, and find a job that you can do that's reasonable for what you want to do. They typically start people with part-time positions, but those part-time positions can turn into full-time.
Yeah.
So that would give you, I mean, if you've been out of work for a while, sometimes the adjustment period is a little hard, but you'll have a job coach with you to kind of walk you through. And so I think that's I can set you up with that. So for your job goal, let's say that we make a plan for you to make contact in the next 30 days, and also have your resume built within the next 30 days, and have a job coach assigned to you. I think those are pretty reasonable. I don't know if how fast the application process will work, but I do know getting the job coach and all of that stuff goes pretty quickly. So that goal should be pretty reasonable for you to do.
Yeah.
In terms of getting a food, I can print you off a list of the food pantries.
Yeah.
And we can also reapply for food stamps.
Yeah, I get kind of nervous about going to food places too, so...
Okay, well we can definitely work on that. So why don't we make a goal of reapplying for food stamps by the end of the month?
Alright.
And why don't we have a goal of you, meeting with me, talking about some of the barriers that you have to going to a food pantry or a soup kitchen, and then we can have you go after the meetings. So let's say you go every other week to a food pantry to start. If you feel more comfortable as you go, great. You can go more often. It's not set in stone, but it's something that then you can reflect back on next week, and then you can say, well, this went really great, or this didn't go good, and this is why I think it didn't go well, or did go well.
Yeah.
And then in terms of getting support and going through AA, I also have a list of AA locations that I can give to you. The other option is there's a community support group. They actually meet in our conference room about, I think it's 3 nights a week that they have the open meetings, so anyone can come, and then they have closed meetings for if you decide to become a member or not.
Yeah.
Once a week. So you can go to as many of those meetings as you want. You don't have to become a member. And they're 3 times a week, so you're probably going to make some pretty good connections.
Alright.
They also have a similar to AA where you can get a sponsor.
Oh, okay.
And that was something I would highly recommend.
Yeah.
So I think in the next 30 days, how about, you commit to going to some sort of either an AA or our community support group, and try, a couple and see what happens. So let's shoot for going to 2 meetings in the next month. If you don't like one of them, you can try the other. If you do like one of them, you can stick with that one, or you can go to both. Whatever you really feel comfortable with. And then I think we should make a counseling goal of meeting twice a week.
Yeah.
Because that gives us a lot of good quality time to really assess what's going on. And then you can reflect on your experiences that you're having. Does that sound doable?
That sounds doable, Miss Hogan.
Okay. Awesome. So I think we can plan to meet next Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. I'm also going to give you, basically what I do with most of my clients is I make a packet of resources and I highlight and I circle and I give to you what I think is the most important. I would like to keep checking in with you about your housing situation. You didn't mention that as a goal, but I think that's really important. How long have you been staying with the people that you're with?
The people I've been with for now, it's been around probably a good month to 2 months because I lost my own housing because I wasn't able to afford it after I lost my job a couple months ago there.
Okay.
So it's been pretty much couch to couch.
Okay, and where are you in terms of more couches to stay? Do you have more friends that, other potentials?
I only got like a couple friends, like.
Okay. So, yeah, we definitely want to look into some homeless shelters to try to work that out. And I can set you up with that until we can figure out where we want to have you go moving forward.
Yeah.
You also would probably qualify for low-income housing, and I can go through the paperwork with you on that.
Alright.
So why don't we make that is another goal if that's something you're comfortable with. And we have a goal of having an application in by the end of the month.
Alright.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good. That's probably a good goal because I am struggling with the housing and I'm probably overstaying my welcome a little bit.
Okay. So that's all I have for this session. Is there anything else you wish to share?
No, Miss Hogan, I think we covered a lot of it in this session, and I'm glad that I'm able to work on these things, and I really want to get the help I need because I know this addiction is trying to drag me down.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much for meeting with me. This is a really big step. Even seeking out help, and it's a step a lot of people never take. So congratulations on that, and I look forward to working with you over these next few months.
Thank you.
Thank you.